There was a while where people really thought you were Illuminati. Honestly, I was people.
I'm still not sure.
We may still hang out sometimes.
Damn, that's so crazy.
I'm just not going to be a Hollywood puppet and entertain anything dark or illegal. They tried to blackmail and coerce me over and over and over to do horrible things, and I'm just not a horrible person.
So you obviously believe all of this Diddy stuff is real and darker than it's even shown.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad people are finally seeing it. I think when they saw him viciously assault Cassie, it all made sense, because all we do is know his music and he's great. And then
You're a fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my God.
it really wasn't about gummies.
So sure. Oh, of course. Is that another ad? Another ad. I'm losing my mind.
It was that height of James's new fame, new money, going batshit crazy and not knowing how to handle it all, and it turned him into a monster. Or he already was that, and the money amplified it. And he really thought, I have money, you're gonna sleep with me. It was very disgusting. Doesn't matter who you were, you want him. You hear that creak? That's
Hey guys, so in the last two videos, we were discussing how Jeffree Star is calling out literally everybody from Michaela Nogueira to Tati Westbrook to James Charles again, Diddy, and basically trying to get a Dramageddon 2024 started. And in today's video, we're going to be exploring more so what happened that caused the whole James Charles cancellation, but like what was happening behind the scenes, what actually happened, not what was shared on YouTube and the drama that ensued for the public, but what really happened. And we left off talking about how I thought that Jeffree Star was projecting when he says that James Charles was having all of this newfound money and power, and that this monster was coming out from his ego, and that he thought that he could just buy his way into having anybody sleep with him. And I'm like, yeah, sounds like Jeffree. So let's get into what happened at the notorious Tati birthday dinner that got the Bye Sister video going in the first place.
Loud.
And that shit
it had
happens
been
so often
weeks
in
of
Hollywood.
buildup of the ego getting so dark and crazy, and just so many weird things and stories coming out to us, and really bizarre things. And the dinner was him at his most disgusting. And there was a 19-year-old waiter who he tricked into his room later that night, and the guy said he wanted to leave, and James was like, I paid for this. Yeah, you have to hook up with me. I bought the room. But everyone just makes it.
So he's claiming that James said verbatim that this guy has to come back and that he needs to hook up with him because he bought the room. And if that's the case, that would be human trafficking, would it not? I honestly don't know how Jeffree speaks about this so freely, because I'm like, couldn't you get in a lawsuit if that didn't actually happen? But I guess there's no proof. But I'm like, I have a feeling, just a hunch, that even if James is completely gross and is completely, like, at fault for everything that people have accused him over the years, I don't think that he would be enough of a monster or stupid enough to tell somebody straight up that they have to sleep with him, especially in front of, like, Jeffree Star and whatnot. I'm like, what? I'm sure that that didn't happen. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you believe Jeffree, or do you think that there was some other version of that?
About sucking and the memes and her stupid ass video, but it was really, as someone that was there, and I'm all about shock value, I'm fucking crazy. It was just disgusting to witness.
Because it's one thing to say something
And
shocking
there's
for the
like
bit,
Tati's
but
family there, and we all know we're shocking and we can say whatever we want, but when you're at that environment, you don't say crazy. It was all just too much, and it just bubbled up crazy, and we all flew home just horrified by this person, disgusted.
Holy fuck.
And I think she really felt like in her heart that exposing him as a alleged predator and all these things was going to teach him a lesson and remove him from the platform. I think that was the start of it, because to me the gummies was loyalty.
Yak's back.
I'm gonna speak for her stupid ass, Tati, you dumb cunt. I'm gonna say let me say one thing for you before you die, you fucking old witch.
I just wish more people would come on Canceled and do
She
this.
is one of the darkest
goal.
people one of the darkest people I've ever met.
Really? I don't think I've ever met her.
She got me with the guise of being like, you know, this like
a sweet older woman,
middle-aged. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is.
No, I'm only being funny because people will say I'm age shaming. We're really close in age.
I was gonna say I don't consider Tati that old, but I didn't think that Jeffree and Tati were that close in age. Jeffree seems more like part of my generation. He's born in 1985 though, which I know is substantially older than me, so I'm not sure how old Tati really is, but damn, he sounds real bitter still.
No, but it was like,
We're not. I'm not age
Her
shaming.
aesthetic, though.
No, her aesthetic was the mother of YouTube, and why would she be a part of any drama and da da da? Because she found out a lot of stuff about him. She knew he was evil, and she wanted to remove him.
But
the gummies was about loyalty. So I think back then it was bizarre because we all kind of had each other's backs. We were all promoting each other. But it was organic. It wasn't like, it was just like we all.
Yeah.
She's gonna come out with a beauty line.
Unspoken,
I'm
like-
gonna be the first one to let y'all know it's fucking amazing. If it is. And I just think that it was bizarre for him to take a quick check when he was raking in so much money to promote something when he's did her makeup at the wedding. So it was bizarre to switch up and not promote her products. I did think it was interesting.
Okay.
Because they were deep
and we're
rooted.
very different. Like it's like, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
guess it
They're
just
in
felt
Hawaii
like-
and he's doing her makeup at the wedding.
So we also talked about that in the last video and how I feel like nobody owes it to you to promote your stuff. Like, sure, Jeffree says that they were a close community and they supported each other like that, but this was Coachella weekend at the same time as the gummies coming out and James making that quick little video that he posted on Instagram or something to get the tickets. It wasn't a formatted video. It wasn't scripted. It was literally like, hey, what can I do in the moment? And somebody was like, oh, I have these VIP tickets. If you want to do a sponsorship for Sugar Bear Hair, then I'll give you the VIP tickets so your friends can come into Coachella. I don't think that James was intentionally not promoting Tati. Like, James wasn't even having a vitamin company or anything. They were not direct competitors. It would not have hurt him in any way or anything to not promote her gummies. I think sometimes people are just busy and their lives revolve around them and not you. Like, she's just a little self-absorbed in my opinion, but that's not to say that all of this other crap that James Charles was accused of is false. I just think that fuck, what do you expect from like a 19-year-old when you're like a 40-year-old? Like, ask him if you want him to advertise your Sugar Bear Hair gummies or your Tati Beauty gummies or whatever the crap is that you were marketing and telling people is absolutely amazing and life-changing that was basically just more Sugar Bear Hair gummies.
Like, she deeply immersed herself with this kid and then found out later on, wow, I think he's evil.
it's like Chucky.
So yeah, I guess I get like why she'd be hurt. I don't know. I experienced it like firsthand as a like completely removed like bystander. Every single video I was like, okay, wait, maybe I believe this person. Like, now I believe
and
her.
that's what it ended up becoming, is this just clusterfuck
No one knew what to
spider
believe.
web of what
And we're
the
over here
hell
like,
is
we just
true.
launched the biggest makeup collection in makeup history. The most palettes sold in 1 hour, in one day. Me and Shane Dawson. What? Two dudes? Like, that's so crazy and beautiful. And the documentary, the second one, right? Both of them were such massive hits.
I also remember mentioning in one of my last two videos that I was actually in that documentary series, and I remember getting so many notifications in my phone blowing up one day, and like, oh my god, you were in the Shane Dawson video, and I was like, wait, what? And then I saw myself and I was upset that they didn't credit me because they credited every other creator that they put in the video and I wasn't credited. So I'm like, thanks, bitches. But yeah, I was put in that documentary. I'm pretty sure that Jeffree Star had me blocked on Twitter for years. So that was ironic that they put me in their documentary. I'm sure he's not doing the back checking to see who he's blocking and why and who he's putting in his documentary series, but I guess it was technically Shane's, but I don't know. I would call it Shane and Jeffree's. But to this day, it is still mind-blowing that Shane Dawson is like 50-50 or 30-70, whatever it is, percentage in charge of the biggest makeup palette launch of all time for e-commerce. Because I'm like, Shane Dawson had nothing to do with makeup before this. Everybody was like, is this the fucking gimmick? And even to this day, I'm like, that was such a money grab. Like, it worked out for you. And the packaging is the most masculine. It's the only makeup palette that I've ever been like, I need to get this. And so I have it. I still have it to this day. It's like 5 years old and I don't use it, but I still have it to this day because at the time I was like, that is the coolest looking makeup palette I've ever seen. And every other makeup palette that I'd ever seen before that was so directed at women.
And I couldn't believe we're in the middle of a pandemic and it's all these crazy things happening with our culture and the planet and Earth and the presidency and everyone's angry. They wanted me and Shane to be the villain.
Do you think it hurt your like launch, or do you think it helped it?
The launch had already happened.
It had already happened.
Yeah. So November 19.
Do you believe
and
in
then
like
the
too
drama,
close to the sun? Like, do you believe that when people fly too close to the sun, like, you know what I mean?
Like what, we got too successful?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, do you
people
just
wanna
believe in
immediately
that,
shoot
like
you down.
karmatically, like, you know what I mean?
With me and Shane specifically, from the dawn of Tumblr to MySpace to this very moment, this has been our careers for some reason, right? Both,
And I feel that on a
both
smaller
different
scale.
ways. Yes,
So I feel
but
that.
same. And it's the roller coaster of she's the villain, they're awful, they're this. Never mind, they're great. We were wrong, and it's just been over and over. And I feel
And
like
it is
it's
so crazy mentally. Like, I see why you would go to Wyoming for your mental health, because even I struggle with that so heavily.
I
Like,
couldn't wake up here anymore.
trying to find a way to be calm while on that roller coaster. I always use that analogy. Like, I've
Yes.
learned how to like fall asleep on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, like
We were used to it. We woke up every day not knowing what was going to happen. That fear of like, what's going to happen today? It was awful. So I just couldn't believe that we woke up and people believed it.
If you fly too close to the sun, you're gonna get burned, they say. But honestly, I am a huge fan of Tana. I think she's somebody that even though she's been canceled and stuff over and over and over again, she's still remained hilarious. And I don't think that she is an awful person. I think she just doesn't have her shit together a lot of the time growing up. And I don't think she really had ill intentions for anybody, as opposed to like Jeffree Star, for example, or Tati Westbrook. Like, they had a hit list and they wanted to take people down. I've never seen Tana do that ever in her life. And now look at her. She basically has her shit together. She runs a podcast and still does all of her YouTube, TikTok and Instagram and OnlyFans and all of that shit. But my dad always used to say that I could fall asleep literally anywhere as a kid. He's like, you could fall asleep upside down at a bar stool in a loud, noisy bar as a child. I don't think he ever brought me to a bar. I don't think that would have ever been legal. But, like, it was an expression. I could literally fall asleep in the most chaotic environments. Nothing shocks me. But at the same time, Wyoming, I would love to wake up in Wyoming. Hell, I'll even wake up at the fucking Star Ranch in Wyoming. Just kidding. I'm pretty sure you have to like sign an NDA to go inside Jeffree's house, and he has like recording and cameras everywhere, so everything is being recorded and everything you've signed away your rights to before you even enter. So I'm like, no. But at the same time, I think it would be so much more peaceful to wake up in Wyoming and go play with like a giant fluffy yak than it would be to wake up in LA and go outside and there's Skid Row.
It was crazy to me. And then it all just got so big, and it's on the news and it's on CNN and it's
Do you
just everywhere.
ever hate
And I'm
that-
like,
I guess Shane's cancellation, he ended up having another one later, right? And like the cat
yeah,
stuff.
our
and whatever the hell.
situations were so different.
Do you hate that he left the internet though? Do you hate like some people would argue that it defeated him? Do you wish it? Do you know what I mean? Do you wish he?
And I partially agree. I took a few weeks off and was like, wait, what did I do?
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person. I didn't try to take down James Charles. I haven't talked to Tati in months. He weaseled his way back in, got her to make a video about us to try to get back at us.
Oh, you
And-
think he was behind video 2?
Yeah, that's what she's told people. Yeah, that he manipulated her. These people are so twisted.
like,
But your
lost.
memory's so great.
And
But your memory's so great, Tana says. Meanwhile, Jeffree Star at the beginning of this podcast was like, I don't even remember why I got canceled the last time. Because he clearly doesn't care. Okay, but if he's going to say, oh, yeah, James manipulated this behind the scenes to manipulate Tati into making the video, it's the same point that I was making earlier. Nobody can tell you what to do. If your friends tell you to go jump off a bridge, are you going to do it? Like, you have your own freedom of choice and your own freedom of will. Tati made that video by sister because she wanted to. Even if Shane and Jeffree behind the scenes were telling her that they need to get this predator off of YouTube, and if they all gang up together, then they can get her off, then they can get him off the internet. I'm like, you decided on your own terms, though. If that conversation happened before, whether it happened at all, doesn't matter. You decided to make the video. You decided to initiate this takedown. So whether James Charles was behind the scenes manipulating Tati or not about the video, again, it doesn't matter because she decided to make the video. That's not on James. She's a grown-ass woman. Don't get manipulated by a 19-year-old, I guess.
I wasn't a part of any of it. That's the problem.
But you got dragged.
You were
So
shrapnel.
so now we're 5 years later. You're telling me that me and Shane called her on the phone and coerced her into this has to be a joke. That's what I'm like. How could anyone believe that was real?
Would you ever?
I'm over here like living my fucking rock star dreams where I'm opening up Morphe stores around the fucking world. There's 30,000 people coming to these malls while I'm doing the ribbon cut. I don't give a fuck about anyone but my empire. Everything's growing. We have I mean, it was all so beautiful, and I couldn't believe they wanted to ruin it all because we got so successful. The two underdogs became
yes, People hate
became the biggest. We went to Walmart, 50 million views. It was untouchable, and they were so mad that the two fucking won.
It's so crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
We'll never,
and yes, so to
content
answer
will
your
never be
question, I am upset that Shane disappeared for over a year. He I don't know. He couldn't handle it mentally. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, obviously.
I would love to get him on this
He's a
couch.
really great speaker. Have you invited him here?
I've like hinted at it. I think I'm gonna cold open ask him again. Maybe I'll be like, hey, Jeffree.
You know, I don't even know whether I would consider it a good idea to have Shane on or a bad idea or whether he would come at all, because along with this last cancellation of Shane's came all of the, oh, you were a groomer to all of these kids and you were grooming Tana Mojo. She was like 16 years old when she came on your channel, and Jojo Siwa and all of that. And why does a grown man need to be friends with a teenage girl? And then people were looking back at all of these videos where they were like, oh, I'm peeing on him. I don't remember who was peeing on who, but like, I'm pretty sure Tana was like 16 in those videos. So I'm like, okay, in one way to the public, it could be a good thing to have Shane on here to see that there's no bad blood. Obviously with Tana, there's no bad blood, but there's also the drama background of Shane is the one that made that series surrounding Tana coming on and like basically making her out to be a villain in the story of TanaCon so that it could redeem her reputation, which got the series started of him being like the new Oprah of YouTube, who was here to like redeem everybody's reputations and make everybody feel bad for you in these documentary series. So I'm like, I don't know if it would be a good idea or a bad idea to have Shane and Tana together, but would he come on the podcast? I don't even know. But speaking of that Shane series, I remember he did one on Jake Paul. Is anybody watching the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight tonight? I'm going to be tuning in 12 minutes, so I kind of have to finish this video recording pretty soon, but I'm going to be watching. Let me know if you're going to be watching. Or I guess rather by the time this video is up, you will probably already have watched if you were going to watch, because it's a live event and it's starting in 12 minutes.
I feel like you're going to be helpful. Like people
We'll just
want to come
FaceTime
if
him when
somebody
this is
cool
over.
comes.
And but it would have, yeah, it's if he, but I don't think he wants to talk about any of this.
Yeah, that's true, and I understand.
I think maybe, yeah.
It's just there will never, the good stuff and the bad stuff. I think that the way that the internet is now, TikTok, the short form content, there will never be a time like that again where singular YouTube videos are like
I think, why do you think
history.
people are so obsessed with all of our old clips? Even the ones with the alleged.
Yeah, with James,
child
that
fucker.
Jack in the Box video. It's so funny because I want to go back and rewatch that video.
They
with
were
you.
really good, great times. I heard Tati's trying to do live stream. It's flopping.
I don't.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And,
I haven't seen her
James has
since
a
my
makeup
sister.
line now, 100 years later. Oh. I guess only because I'm the queen of reviewing, and so many people
Have you
been
reviewed
like,
Painted?
I can't review.
It would be so viral.
I really, yes, it would. But at the end of the day, it's a Patrick Tar ripoff. There's nothing new or inspiring
Ooh.
about it. The packaging of his blushes are identical to Patrick Tar and Tom Ford.
Ooh.
It's boring. It's really uninspiring from what I've seen. Michelle Phan's in a cult, I guess, and someone has her beauty line still.
But-
No one,
so-
I've never seen anyone wear her makeup before. It's M Beauty. It's
Oh, I didn't. I've only ever known about Ipsy. I didn't even know she had a makeup line. But it is okay. So that she's, you just made light of this to me, but apparently she's interviewing Tati and she's still around. But all the clips I've seen, she's like not there. What is the cult?
I don't know. It's like a vacant version of her, and she got involved with some.
So you think
guy
people are
and-
controlling her?
I don't know. It's bizarre. I just don't think, no offense, because she is an OG and I don't want to disrespect her. I've never said anything bad about her and I don't want to, is I don't think that she's relevant anymore. I mean, listen, I fully believe Diddy killed Tupac.
Does it ever scare you to say things like this?
No,
but I guess
I have no fear, which is why I don't think they've taken me out. I just didn't want to play the games or be a puppet.
The devil works hard, but Jeffree Star works harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I've
nuts.
sucked the devil off. He's not bad. He's kind of
That's
boring.
our third clip.
Yeah.
Because the second these cameras go off, I'm getting the real tea, and that's like this. Like
Don't
this
tell him
episode.
that.
It's just like it's nuts. Like what's
I'm
gonna happen?
so
off
tight.
camera.
That's the real tea.
All right, well, you guys, that is about a wrap on this video. Now, let me know if you are watching or you already watched the Jake versus Mike Tyson match. I'm super excited to see how that goes. And that is, I guess, the whole backstory of what happened, allegedly really happened, at Tati's birthday dinner. But let me know what you guys thought of this whole ordeal down in the comments below. This is probably the best canceled podcast episode that I've watched personally. But if you missed the first two Jeffree Star videos and me reacting to this podcast, they are up on my channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.